Today we're working on the Gauteng Prelim 2017. I'm going to start on the one hardware document where we need to insert your name and surname in the header or footer. So I've opened it up already. I'm just going to right click, edit header, and enter your name and surname. Now we need to insert a banded cover page at the beginning of the document and add the document title, hardware information, your name and surname, and delete the other controls on the cover page. So to do that, you go to Insert, Cover Page, and they ask for the banded style. We're going to change the document title to Hardware Information. Put your own author name. And then to delete the controls, you can't just stand there and press delete, because then it just deletes the content of the control that's already been typed, but the control is actually still there. So you need to select the three little dots on the end and then press delete, and then it actually deletes the control itself. Then you'll see it's not there anymore. That's the easiest way. Now we need to find the image after the heading what is computer hardware, this image, and we need to add the central computer. I'm going to go to Insert tab, Pictures, and choose one computer. Just make it smaller first, and then I'm going to change the wrapping to tight. Now I can move it around, and when I'm happy I can then group this. So the way to group it, you'll see at the moment if I select these and I move it around, it's not acting as one object because this is not seen as part of this group. So I'm going to select the group once and then hold Control in on my keyboard and then select the picture in the middle. You see the cursor's changed, and now I can right click, group, group. Now if I move it around, it's all one object. There's a style that's been created and we need to apply a text reflection effect on the style and update it. So there's the hardware style. I'm going to right click, modify to change the style, format, text effects, and go to reflection and choose one of the presets. Now the safest way to check that it's actually been applied is to right click and say select all, no data, and then just reapply it, just so you're sure that it's definitely updated it, then you know it's all good. Next we need to find and replace the exact word computer. In other words, it needs to match the case. It can't start with a capital C, and it can't be computers with an S, so it needs to be whole words because it needs to be this exact word with this symbol, Webding's character code 191. So to do that, what you first do is you insert this symbol somewhere, anywhere. So you go to Insert, Symbol, More Symbols, go choose the font, and then you can make it 191, Insert. Okay, now you're going to cut this so that it's in the memory. Check that you don't cut any additional symbols like the paragraph character at the end or something like that by accident. So just that little one cut. Okay, now the replacing process. So you go to Home, Replace, and we want to find the word computer and replace it with that symbol. Now you can't just paste it here, it's not going to work. You actually need to go and say what I want to replace it with is the clipboard contents. Now when they find it, it has to match the case and it needs to be whole words only, and replace it with the clipboard contents. Now if you replace all, 49 replacements. Next we need to ensure that the bullets appear the same as all the other bullets in the document. So the bullets below list of computer hardware need to look the same as all the other bullets. So if your navigation pane is not on by default, then you can go to the View tab and switch it on over there, and then it's easy to find the headings they're talking about. So these bullets need to look the same as these. Now the thing is, if you select these and you go to bullets, you'll see that bullet is available, but it doesn't look exactly the same because it doesn't have the same alignment. Do you see this alignment is against the margin, whereas if I just change the bullets, it isn't against the margin by default. So the safest way to do it is to actually use Format Painter. So you select the correct format that you want. Format Painter is just as good as saying copy the format and then go and paste the format onto the bullets that you want to change. Now we need to change the symbol of the footnote to be a letter A. Now if you don't know where the footnote is, you can go to the References tab and say Next Footnote, and then it'll jump to the footnote. You'll see there it is, and there's the footnote entry. So to change anything about the footnotes, I actually need to go to this text and right click, say Note Options, and change the number format in this case to be ABC. Now you'll see it's changed that section as well as there to be A. Next, we need to convert 2 paragraphs into a table with 2 columns and 2 rows. There you can find the text. So you select the section that needs to go into the columns or into the table. You go to the Insert tab, and under Table you can say Convert Text to Table. We want 2 columns, and Word is actually smart enough to pick up all the rest that it needs. And you'll see now I can just resize this a bit that it looks closer to the example. To correct all the spelling mistakes in the document, you go to the Review tab, you go to Spelling and Grammar. You can ignore all the grammar issues and just change the spelling. Seems there was just one spelling error. Now we need to find a table under the heading Supercomputer and apply a table style and ensure that the table will not be separated when it's split over 2 pages. The heading Supercomputer, there it is, and there's the table. So to select the whole table, you use your 4-headed arrow, and on the Table Design tab, so this is the on-demand table menu. It's not available when you haven't selected a table. Now you can go to Design, and please don't choose any of these basic ones. Choose something that's nice and colorful that the marker can easily see that you've changed it to a proper style. Now we need to change this table that it actually can't be split across 2 tables or across 2 pages. And to do that, we need to change a paragraph setting so that it's all kept together. Now the thing is, this uses paragraphs. Now if I put on my show hide, you'll see each time Word sees this little icon, it's a new paragraph. Okay, and it does the same in tables. This funny thing that looks like an alien, that is also a paragraph to Word. So what I'm going to do is I select all of these rows except the last one, and I'm going to change a paragraph setting. So I go to the Home tab, on the paragraph group I open the dialog launcher, and on the Line and Page Breaks tab I choose Keep with Next. Now what this does is it keeps all of these paragraphs I've selected with the next paragraphs, and that's why it's now locked together. Next we need to find the heading Hardware Upgrade, and we need to insert an index to mark all the hardware text. So I think this was phrased a bit difficult. Here's the Hardware Upgrade heading. What they wanted, if you go to the References tab, if you look at index options, you can mark entries or you can insert an actual index. Now, before you've marked entries, you can't insert an index. And at the moment, if I switch on my show hide and I look up and down in the document, I don't see any index entries. You'll see what they look like just now. So basically what we need to do is we need to insert an index entry on this word hardware. So I select the word, it's not the whole heading, just the word hardware. I'm going to mark the entry, and I'm going to choose Mark All, so that anywhere the word hardware appears, it actually adds it as a index entry. And you'll see what it did is it actually switched on show hide automatically to show me this. For some reason it didn't do it on the regular paragraphs, and if I look across in the document, there are some places where it does it in normal text, like here, but I think it's maybe got to do with capitals. I haven't been able to figure that out, but it's done it in a few places. So for example, in this heading as well, where there was hardware, it's inserted an index entry for the word hardware. Then you can just switch off your show hide again. That's on the home tab if you haven't added it to your quick access toolbar like I have. Okay, at the moment there's a picture of the supercomputer that doesn't appear in the table of figures when you update it. Ensure that this figure appears in the table of figures and then update it. Okay, so let's go have a look what the problem is. You'll see this picture is the caption reads picture 1 supercomputer, and if I go down, you'll see the table of figures is set to display caption types that are figures, not pictures. So what we need to do is we go up. I'm going to be lazy and just cut this text so that I don't have to retype it. I'm going to delete that and I'm going to insert a new caption. Right clicked on the picture, insert caption. Okay, and then I can update this and you'll see it shows figure 4 is added as well as figure 2. So even if you didn't get this question right, you could have still done the updating of the table of figures. Now we need to add page numbers in the footer of the document in the format page X of Y. We need to start the number on the second page as number 1, odd pages numbered on the right, even pages numbered on the left. So to do page numbering, I prefer to start at the very top of the document. I'm not going to insert any page numbers on the first page, so I'm going to start on the second page's footer, right click, edit footer. So before I start, I'm going to switch on odd and even pages so that I can put the page numbers in the correct position from the start. So I'm going to enable different odd and even pages on the header and footer tab. And then I go to page numbers. Now I'm currently in an odd page footer, and they said the odd page footers should be on the right. So I go to the bottom of the page. I first go look for the page X of Y style. There it is, and they said that one should be on the right, so then I go choose the one on the right hand side. Fortunately for me, it's already changed it to page 1. I didn't need to do that, but if I did, I would have gone to format page numbers and changed it over here. Now I go to the next section, which is actually just the even page footers, and the even pages I need to insert again, and they should be on the left. So I go to the bottom of the page again, choose the right style, and insert the numbers on the left, and close the header and footer. Lastly, we need to change the year of the source, Anthony Balkan, All About Computers, to 2009, and then insert an automatic bibliography. So to do that, I go to the References tab. I manage the sources that are in the document. This is the list of this document. This is what I've used. So this is the source that I'm editing. Edit, and I change the year to 2009. Now I can go insert a bibliography, and I prefer using this one instead of those because I already have a heading. Now you'll see if I right click and update this field, it stays the same. So you are able to change it here afterwards to something like that, but one can see that you did it by hand because if you update it, it changes back. So it has to stay at 2009 even if you update it.